I think every gardener shares a common secret. We are all a little bit impatient. We plant a tiny seed, or a small transplant in the soil. Then, we wait. We water. We watch. And we wish for our plants to grow faster. I know I certainly do. This past spring, I looked out at my vegetable patch, and I felt that familiar urge. I wanted more. I wanted bigger tomatoes. I wanted lusher lettuce. Beans that climbed their poles with unstoppable energy. I dreamed of a garden that wasn't just surviving but truly thriving, and I wanted it to happen now, not at the end of a long, slow season. One popular idea was using yeast. The theory was that yeast would make the soil rise like bread dough, creating air pockets and feeding the plants. It sounded interesting, but also a little strange. I've always believed that the best way to garden is to work with nature, not against it. Adding something like baker's yeast to my precious soil felt like a shortcut that might have hidden costs down the road. This feeling of hesitation was a good thing. It pushed me to look deeper, to search for a method that was both powerful and natural. I wanted a solution that didn't just offer a temporary boost, but built a foundation for long-term health in my garden. My goal was not just a bigger garden in 30 days, but a healthier, more resilient garden for years to come. I started researching the life within the soil itself. It was there, in the world beneath my feet, that I stumbled upon the real secret to explosive plant growth. It wasn't a kitchen ingredient, but a living, breathing ecosystem. That's when I discovered what I now call the million microbe method. It's not a magic trick, but pure science. It's about cultivating an army of microscopic helpers that already exist in nature. These tiny organisms are the true engines of the garden. They work tirelessly, day and night, to break down nutrients and feed them directly to your plant's roots. Instead of trying to force growth with an artificial stimulant, this method focuses on creating the perfect environment for plants to flourish naturally. It was a revelation that would completely transform my garden and my understanding of what makes plants grow. So, what exactly are these microbes I keep mentioning? Think of them as a microscopic city living in your soil. Bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and countless other tiny life forms. Most of them are incredibly beneficial. They are the soil's digestive system. Compost mulch. These microbes get to work. They break it all down into simple, basic nutrients. Plant roots can easily absorb. A plant can't just eat a dead leaf, but it can feast on the nutrients that microbes release from that leaf. The million microbe method is all about intentionally breeding these good guys. Thousands, millions, billions. When you have a massive army of beneficial microbes, your soil comes alive. It becomes darker, richer, and holds moisture much more effectively. The microbes also create a protective barrier around the plant's roots. This shield, known as the rhizosphere, helps to defend the plant against diseases and harmful pathogens. It's like giving each of your plants its own personal security team. My experiment began with a simple plan. I sectioned off a part of my garden to test this new method. On one side, I continued with my usual routine. On the other, I implemented the million microbe method. I started by brewing a special tea. This wasn't a tea for me to drink, but a brew for my soil. I took a bucket of clean, dechlorinated water and added a handful of high-quality compost, and a little bit of unsulfured molasses. The molasses acts as a food source, waking up the dormant microbes in the compost and encouraging them to multiply rapidly. I let this mixture bubble away for 24 hours using a small aquarium pump to add oxygen. This aeration is crucial, as it ensures the beneficial aerobic microbes are the ones that reproduce. After a day, the water had transformed. It was dark, earthy smelling and teeming with millions of microscopic helpers. I used this living liquid to water the plants in my test plot. I did this once a week. The results, over the next 30 days, were nothing short of astonishing. The plants in the microbe-treated section exploded with growth, quickly overshadowing their counterparts. Now let's talk about that yeast method I mentioned earlier. Many gardeners are tempted by it because it seems simple and cheap. The idea is that the carbon dioxide released by the yeast helps aerate the soil. While there might be a tiny temporary benefit from this, it's a flawed approach. Baker's yeast is a single specific type of fungus. It's designed to work in bread dough, not in the complex ecosystem of your garden soil. It can even throw off the natural balance of microorganisms that are already present, potentially causing more harm than good in the long run. The problem with the yeast trick is that it's a one-trick pony. It doesn't build soil health. It doesn't improve nutrient availability in a meaningful way. It doesn't help protect plants from disease. In contrast, the million microbe method builds a resilient, self-sustaining system. You are not just adding one organism, you are cultivating a diverse community of thousands of different types of beneficial bacteria and fungi. This diversity is the key to a robust and healthy soil food web, which is the foundation of any great organic garden. It's a holistic solution, not a temporary fix. My own garden proved this beyond a doubt. After just 30 days, the difference was stunning. The tomato plants in my microbe-treated plot were nearly twice the size of the others. Their leaves were a deep, healthy green. The beans had scrambled to the top of their trellis, while the others were still struggling halfway up. My lettuce heads were fuller and crisper. By my estimation, the overall plant mass in that section had easily tripled. It was a visible, undeniable success that had nothing to do with kitchen yeast. The most important difference is safety and sustainability. The million microbe method is 100% natural and safe. You are simply amplifying the natural processes that have been working in forests and fields for millions of years. There are no chemicals, no strange additives, and no risk of damaging your soil's delicate ecosystem. You are building fertility that will last for seasons to come. Every time you apply the microbe tea, you are making a long-term investment in the health of your garden. Yeast, on the other hand, is a short-term gamble that does nothing to improve the fundamental quality of your soil. Are you ready to give this a try? I promise it's easier than it sounds. You don't need a science lab or expensive equipment to get started. All you need is a bucket, an aquarium pump with an air stone, some good compost, unsulfured molasses. First, fill your 5-gallon bucket with water. Let it sit for 24 hours to let chlorine evaporate. Chlorine can kill the microbes you're trying to grow. Or use rainwater. Even better. Now make the brew. Place about 2 cups of finished compost into a mesh bag or old pantyhose. This acts like a tea bag and keeps the liquid from clogging your watering can. Drop the compost bag into the bucket. Add 1 to 2 tablespoons of unsulfured molasses. Molasses is food for the microbes. Submerge the air stone and turn the pump on. Look for a gentle rolling bubble, like a simmering pot. Let it brew for 24 to 36 hours. You'll notice a rich, earthy smell. That's the smell of success. When brewing is complete, your microbe tea is ready. Use it right away. Microbial population is at its peak. Dilute the tea about 1 to 10. Water the soil around the base of your plants. Start your own experiment. Try it on a few plants. Apply the tea once a week and watch what happens. Gardening is learning and discovery. This opens your eyes to life in your soil. Don't be afraid to try something new. Work with nature's systems to build a healthier garden and bigger harvest. Happy gardening.